the glamour. This is the green room. Introduce you to, this is the glamorous green. And what's green? There's a tie. That's what's green.
There's some green tape.
So yeah. Oh, well.
You know what I'm talking about.
Good morning. We are here today in Gulfport, Florida with Poppy Champlin, a renowned, well-known comedian, writer, producer. And we have the opportunity to speak with her the morning of her show tonight. She'll be performing tonight in Gulfport.
Sold out.
Sold out show.
I like
Thank
that.
goodness
I like
we
saying
got our
that.
tickets.
It's only 5 seats, but it's sold out. No.
Sold out.
175 seats.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're performing at the
Catherine Hickman Theater.
Perfect.
In Gulfport. And I've been there, I was there last year. I was either there last year or the year before. I think it was last year. And another close to sold out, but this one's definitely sold out.
Excellent. Now you're a writer, producer, and you also have a comedy class.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
Oh,
you,
yeah.
you teach comedy.
Yes, I do.
All right, tell us how you take a segment of life and can make it funny.
Well, people that take the class have their segments of life that they think are funny, I think. You know what I mean? Like, I've been finding that people that take the class already kind of have an idea of what they're going to talk about. And I help them really dig into it deeper, like deep, go deep, and then spread it out, like go as wide and as you can with that piece, and then we slowly bring it in, and so it's like boiling it down to its essence and then finding the jokes in that.
Okay, so when they're looking at their segment of life, do you tell them, hey, bring a funny segment, or can you take a not so funny segment? Because I've listened to quite a few of your shows.
Yeah.
And getting pulled over for a DUI to me
Oh,
would
yeah.
be an anxiety-ridden moment.
Sure.
Okay? But that is hilarious when you describe it.
Yeah, people remember that bit a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
How I say the cops pulled me over, and oh no, I guess I gotta have to do the whole thing almost
Right.
to get it, but yeah, that's, you know, the comedy tragedy thing. I mean, that's what it's about, you know, making the comedy from the tragedy. Like in this show tonight, and believe me, I'm scared. I just got through ductal carcinoma, and I had a lumpectomy. And I've been out for 2.5 weeks now, out of surgery, and I'm doing jokes about it tonight.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna poke it and prick it with put a pea on it, make it funny. So
Yeah.
how are you gonna do that?
Well, you'll have to come see the show and see. I mean, it's really what I've done is not taking it as that overall situation, but the individual stuff that happens, you know, within. You know, like when the doctor first told me that that's what I had, I'm like, what? And I swore at her, and can't swear on here, right?
We don't,
No.
generally.
So I swore at her. I'm like, how dare you tell me? You know, I have this, and she's like, oh, but it's in situ. You know, and I'm like, what is that, a Chinese dog? I don't know what in situ means. She's like, it's in the milk duct and it's not going anywhere. It's just sitting there. So I'm like, oh, so it's the good cancer. It's good cancer.
But it is cancer.
Yeah, it is. And I was like, wow. So I got a bad milk duct is what I got. A bad milk duct. One of my milk ducts. I got a dud.
And it was
I got
contained.
a milk dud.
It
It was contained. Yeah, it's contained. So it went bad. I went, why does it go bad? Well, we don't know. What do you mean you don't know? No, nobody knows. I'm like, the doctors don't know? No, it's just bad DNA. They just went rogue. The cells went rogue. You know, it's like, so now there's the Crips, the Bloods, and the Ducks, apparently. You know?
So how, you know, for the audience, I mean, we're hitting thousands of people.
Yeah.
How did you find that out?
The mammogram.
Mammogram.
They did the mammogram and they see these calcifications and they're just little white dots But when the little white dots start congregating together, then that means that there's an area that for some reason, the calcifications go to a place where the cancer might be.
Yeah, calcifications, and they're clustering, they're gathering. So now you gotta do a biopsy. I'm like, I want a second opinion. So I took the x-rays and I looked at them myself. Doesn't look like clustering, it looks like a meet and greet. That's what it looks like to me.
So,
So tell us about the Queer Queens of Qomedy.
This is my little baby that I put together. I didn't want to come out for some reason at the Laugh Factory. I'm not comfortable in a straight crowd talking about my gay relationships. And I want to be comfortable, but I grew up in a time of coming out that just wasn't comfortable.
Kind of keep it down.
Yeah, keep it
Keep it on the
down,
low.
don't tell, keep it on the low. So I haven't gotten rid of that, and so it was really difficult for me to be comfortable with it, so I didn't actually come out there. I did finally come out at the Improv in Hollywood, and it was great. You know, he said, oh, let's do a show in Vegas. I'm like, okay, and I still wasn't comfortable with it, you know. So I just had to find a situation that I was comfortable with, and I wanted to be a headliner as well, because you know, I think my stuff is as good as any of the other lesbian comedians that are working. And so I decided, and the club owners didn't know my name, so I said, well, let me bring 2 other lesbians with me and call ourselves the Queer Queens of Qomedy and see how that sells.
Okay.
And it sold great. The first one was in Alexandria, Virginia, and we sold like 450 seats.
Now you have a show in Orlando tomorrow.
Yeah, yes.
February 17th in
Yep.
Orlando.
Yes.
And then you have one in March in Maryland.
Yep, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Magoobies, good for you. Did your due diligence research? Thank you.
So after that, I mean, do you go on tour maybe monthly?
Yeah, pretty much one a month. You know, sometimes I do 3 in one shot, like in Texas. A lot of times I'll do San Antonio, Dallas, and Houston.
While you're there.
Sometimes I'll add Austin. It's a lot of work, but it's good. It's good, and the people, Texas loves it. Texas loves the Queer Queens. Yeah.
Okay, so the Queer Queens of Qomedy, that now you produce it and you also perform in it.
Yeah.
Now that is a lot.
It's a lot.
So you're not just the talent, you're the magician behind the curtain.
Yeah. But luckily I have 2 others on the show with me, so I don't perform a full hour, but I do perform about 40 minutes, because I'll go up first, do about 20, 25, bring up the next comedian, go back up, do another 10, bring up the next comedian, go back up, do the raffle, finish with a song, close it out, do. So it's a lot.
It's a full night.
It's a full-
and a lot of prep.
It's a
That time.
lot of prep. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this next one is in Orlando with Michelle Ballin, and that'll be Sunday matinee. And I put a local comic on there, Jeff Jones. I don't usually put a lot of guys on, but I'm like, you know, why not?
Women's Week 2019.
Yes.
Tell
Okay.
us what that's all about.
Well, Women's Week is a blast. I mean, I've been going there for 17 years. This will be 18. I can't even believe that's true. It's really, you know, the women get to take over the town, which is nice. You know, the lesbians take over the town for a full week and a half, because it really starts Columbus weekend, and then it goes for a full another week.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's really like 9 days.
What's the best, the front end or the back end? For people who can only take a week.
It's weird, because the front end is where you're really getting an extra day, because it's Columbus Day. You get Columbus Day off, but it's the next weekend that's really the official Women's Week, and that's when most of the people show up.
Okay.
So if you want it a little more sedate, you go the first weekend, or if you want it all the comics, all the music, all the people are there the second weekend, that's when you go for the second weekend.
Now you're here just a couple of nights, then you're going to buzz over to Orlando, then back to Rhode Island?
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
now that comedy class you're giving, have you finished it?
No,
Is it at the end?
the next session is Tuesday. So what happens is I start it, and then we do 6 sessions, and then we do a show. So they have to get their act together in 6 classes, and then the show goes on. And then I bring in another headliner, myself, and them, and that's the show. And they get about 7 minutes.
Wow, that would be a fun show.
Oh, yeah.
To watch. How many have you done?
I'm gonna say 7 classes.
Okay.
I think I've had about 30 students so far.
All right, and this one, do they ever come back through?
Yes, I've had one come back through twice. Once she came back through, and the second or the third time she said she wanted to be a ventriloquist. I'm like, oh, I haven't studied that one yet, but let's go for it. And so we went for it. It was hysterical.
Really?
Oh, she was terrible, and it was so funny. She was so funny because she was so bad. You know what I mean?
Really?
And she knew she was bad.
And that was the shtick?
And that was the shtick.
Oh.
Everybody out there should subscribe to the Worrywarts YouTube channel so that they can get huge. We want them to get big, big, big. All lesbian Worrywarts channel. Let them know that you
That's
love them.
Worrywart Adventures, not to
Oh,
interrupt.
Worrywart Adventures. That's
Okay.
right.
And
A bell. Ring the bell. I don't know what this means, but ring it, girl. Ring it.
you can ring my bell, ring my bell, ring my bell.